Welcome to the Seriously podcast. I'm your host, Annalise Gann. Now let's get into it. Welcome to the Seriously podcast, where we make light of serious conversations with really interesting people. LOLÉ Swim is the hottest new swim brand on the scene in Australia. Founded by Lauren Alex and Bronte Schofield, the brand is described as where classic meets contemporary and has so far been a hit on the Perth scene, already selling out of sizes. I thought I'd get the owners in to talk about their new line and get their top tips on how to start a successful business. So here they are, the beautiful Lauren and Bronte. Welcome back to the Seriously podcast. This week we have LOLÉ founders, Lauren and Bronte. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, thanks for having us.
How are you ladies today?
Good. Good. Happy to be here.
Oh, thank you for
Yes.
coming in.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. Now, you're both based in Perth. You've been friends for a while. What gave the idea to start LOLÉ Swim?
Do you want to take this one?
Well, we kind of both met and we just had similar interests, and then we were just talking one day. I think we'd had a few wines, and I was saying how a few years before I had tried ordering swimwear samples and tried doing a business on my own, and it was like really difficult to do it on my own, and there was like a lot of decisions, and you know, when you don't have a sounding board, I was just like, I got so frustrated, so I just kind of left it and never revisited it. And then when I told Bronte, she was like, oh my God, like I tried to do that too. And then it kind of just went from there.
Yeah, like I did it about 5 years ago, but it was around the time before COVID hit, and I just started my own business in the beauty industry. I went kind of back to my roots. And then, as Lauren said, it's really hard to do that on your own. And I felt like at the time I was wearing so many hats, and I was like, I can't do this by myself. And having somebody else who, I guess, you know, Lauren and I, we are very similar in the way that we dress, and just our aesthetic is very similar. So I think it helps a lot when it comes to this. Just bouncing ideas off of another person who has the same passion as you makes it so much easier.
Yeah. And I think you kind of have to be in the right stage of your life when you start something like that. Like I think when I first did it, I was like doing my master's at uni, and I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to start a business doing that. And I was just like still living at home, and like, I just think it probably happened for the better anyway, because when we can do it together and we're a bit older now and we have a bit more money behind us, we can do it right. So
100%.
That's amazing. Guys, for those who don't know you, can you just tell me a little bit about yourselves individually? We'll start with you, Lauren.
Oh God, where do I start? So as I said, like I used to be an accountant. I did my chartered accountancy, and I was just like, my parents were very like, oh yeah, like our daughter's smart. She's made it. She's got a good job, like tick, tick. Got very like Italian parents. So, you know, you can understand what they're like. And, but I just hated it. Like I would go to work every day hating it. So I was like, okay, I want to do something different. So I kind of started getting into influencing and like realized I liked sort of the marketing creative side of things. So that's when I went back to uni and did my master's in marketing, and it kind of just went from there, and I now have my own marketing business.
Wow.
So I've been doing that for a couple of years, and then now this. So it's just kind of been one thing after the other, and I love being busy. As much as I get stressed and say I hate it, I love being busy and I love working. So
okay, I didn't know any of that about you, so thank you for telling us. Bronte?
Yeah, look, Lauren and I are very opposite. I never went to uni. I never did any of that. I always knew that I wanted to be a business owner from a very young age. So, you know, when you graduate school and you write your little eulogy and it says what you want to do, mine said the beauty industry. So I always knew that I wanted to help women in some way, shape or form.
Yeah.
I guess being in the beauty industry itself, you meet a lot of women and you find out what they do want and what they don't want. And for myself, I've always kind of I felt that I had like, you know, a body shape that was a little bit different to everybody else. And that's why I went down the line of body sculpting, because I fell in love with it myself. And then running a business, I think a lot of people know, off the back end of a reality TV show, is very hard. And with what I went through after that, I obviously lost a lot of passion for what I do, because it was just trying to find your bearings after going through something like that is really hard. So I've never actually had a full-time business partner before, and I think the idea of going into, you something with your friend, it's scary, but it's also extremely rewarding. So stepping off the back foot of being in control of my own business and then stepping into something else is actually, it's scary, but it's super exciting. So beauty industry and I guess, aesthetic wear or pleasure wear or swimwear, whatever it is that you want to call it, whatever it is that we want to do, it kind of goes hand in hand. So I've always known that I wanted to work with women, and I think this kind of just worked out for the best.
It follows on from it.
Yeah. So I'm still doing what I love, just kind of steering in a different direction.
That's amazing. And what you said before, so you guys are opposites. Do you think that works well in business? Like,
I think it has to, right?
because you're both creative, but then like obviously you've got an accountancy background and you've got a beauty background. Does that help like the dynamics?
I think, Lauren is really good when it comes to the marketing side of things. And, if you didn't have that, it would make things extremely difficult. I'm super relaxed and chilled and Lauren's like, I'm doing all of this. And I'm like, dude, it's cool. Like,
I'm so stressed. And she's like, why? Like,
I work in marketing too. So I know it's full on.
I've never done it, but I understand the social media side of things because without social media, your business just doesn't grow. And that's Lauren's forte. Yeah. So I'm like, thank God you know what you're doing because
she does it really well too.
She is amazing. Like, she's like, do you love it? And I'm like,
how did you do that?
I'm like, yeah.
Well, originally I was like sending stuff to Bronte to be like, hey, this is the plan. Like, this is what I'm going to post. These are the captions. She's like, she ended up just being like, you don't have to send them to me. Like, it's fine. I trust you. So I was like, okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
You're really, really good. Even your
amazing.
business page, I'm like, how do you like have the aesthetic? Like, you just know.
It's so, even me, I'm a co-owner. I look at it, I'm like, wow.
But it's funny because like I do a lot of like marketing work for my clients, right? But then when it came to doing ours, I was just second guessing everything. And I was like, is this the right thing to do? Like, should I be doing this? And like, whereas with my clients, it's just second nature. So I guess it's like when it's your own, I don't know, like...
And I think that...
I started doubting myself for some reason.
And you shouldn't. And I think coming back to the fact that Lauren and I are so similar aesthetically, that's how it works.
Yeah.
It's because I know that whatever she's going to post, I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
Like our colours, everything is just, everything's the same.
Yeah.
So we're very lucky.
So speaking on that, I want to get into it. Like, can you guys talk me through from having the idea to then implementing it and then to manufacturing it? Like, what are the steps if people want to know how do we get into business? Like, and the designs, like who does the design?
Just have a few wines with your friend and then
have a bottle
and then
of
one
wine.
day you'll have spent thousands of dollars on bikinis.
Pretty much. That's literally how we started though, is obviously I think we've touched on this on our story a little bit, but for those who haven't, like obviously we were at when we originally come up with the idea, I'd just come back from filming and I was like, I don't want to do my business anymore, blah, 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 blah. And then we were both just like, oh my God, bikinis. And that's kind of, not to take it all the way back. But then the next step after that was when I was supposed to be moving away. And then we're at my going away drinks. And then
Lauren
was like, let's do it. And I was like, okay. And then obviously the name was born that night. And that's actually a hilarious story. I do love that
We
story.
need to hear the story.
Yeah, Bronte tells the story well.
So, okay, we were obviously playing around with names and we're like, what do we call it? We don't want to be, like every other brand, and that's just, there's not going to say basic names, but there's a lot of names that we wanted to steer away from, and we wanted something that was more authentic to us. And
we always wanted it to be like a short name and something that's like a bit more like luxe,
Yeah, it is luxe.
Yeah.
So obviously we loved LOLÉ Swim. We were like, that's just short, sweet, it's beautiful, and we hadn't heard of it before. Being business owners ourselves, we went straight to the ABN website and it was already taken, and we had a few red wines.
We were so upset.
We were so devastated. We were like, why? And then we're sitting there, we're having a little play around with it, and I was like, you know what? I love to combine names. I just love doing that. I think it's like it's a part of Lauren and I that will always be in the business.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, your name starts with an L. We love Lola. My name ends with an E, but everyone thinks my name's Bronte. And like, why don't we call it LOLÉ?
Oh.
And then we were just like, it was like the heavens open, and we were just like, oh my God.
Genius.
Definitely
we were so happy.
on our second bottle of red wine by that point. But we were just stoked. And it was just, when you just, when you know.
We were just like, yes,
we
absolutely.
just loved it. We looked it up on the ABN again, and we were like, it's not taken, like it's fine.
Yeah.
And basically the rest is history. And going through that manufacturing stage and trying to find the right supplier actually wasn't that hard for us. Like
I think because
had
when I started it like a few years ago and I'd already ordered samples from a manufacturer, we kind of went back to that one because the quality was good and everything like that. I just like, obviously, like I said before, I wasn't ready. So we kind of just started there. And I mean, this probably doesn't happen often, but it was the first one we tried and we loved. So
Yeah, that doesn't happen with
Yeah,
swimwear.
yeah.
Usually you have to, because I looked into my own like ages ago and it wasn't for me, it was too hard. But I was like, oh my God, like I went to like 4 manufacturers. It was really hard.
Yeah.
So that's really lucky.
Yeah, we were lucky. Yeah.
it's been a ride ever since then.
Yeah. Like going back to your question, how do you start? Like it takes like, honestly, it sounds so cliche, but you just have to start. Like you just have to go, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to give it a crack. Because if you keep waiting for the right time, it just, you'll never do it. So we kind of just one day, I said, Bronte, come over. We're going to call the manufacturer. Like we're going to have a meeting and we're just going to start and we're just going to place our first sample order. And then we kind of just went from there. So
This was almost a year ago. So it's been quite a while in the making. We haven't just picked some styles off of Alibaba and stuck our,
Logo
label on it. That's just not what we wanted.
Yeah.
We wanted authentic designs, everything
custom.
we want, obviously, I feel like when it comes to business, I know that there's a massive gap in the market for what other women are looking for. But I feel like if you start off with you and what you want and what your brand is about, you'll attract those customers just authentically rather than trying to be something that you're not and market something that you don't know how to market.
So true.
So, I know that a lot of people go, oh, I want more of this and I want more of that. And Lauren and I, we are absolutely open to that and we cannot wait to stock more styles and more sizes. That is something that we are so passionate about, is making women feel good about themselves. But I feel like when you very first start, you have to be authentic to your why and to why you started and what makes you a brand.
Yeah, because we did a Q&A on our Instagram page and, a few people were asking like, are you going to stock this style or this coverage or these sizes? And we kind of sat there and we thought like, absolutely, like we want to include everyone and we want to have different styles, but we started with the designs and the colours and the sizes that because obviously it's expensive, right? Ordering stock.
And it's a startup.
It's a lot.
We can't stock every size. So we started with 4 sizes and we started with the styles that we personally love. And like Bronte said, styles that we knew how to market. So this is our starting point. And like we have so many ideas like
crazy
that we want to branch out into. Like I wish we could do them all now, but we just have to do it step by step, And like you said, we're a startup. We have limited funds. Like we need to see what works, what sizes are popular, what styles are popular before we just go out and do everything.
And I think, as Lauren said, I think it's like you shouldn't be afraid to fail in business because when you fail, you learn what not to do early. And I kind of like failing towards, well, it's not really failing, it's just kind of just learning, as Lauren said, what works and what doesn't. And obviously with our styles, we know that they're not for everybody. We didn't start this going, everyone's going to love it. We knew that. But we love it, so we're going to be attracting that ideal client that is exactly the same as us. And then the more that branches out and the more that we grow, of course, we're going to bring in other styles. We don't want to be that company that doesn't listen to our customers. Not at all.
So how's the response been so far? And like, what size do you go up to currently? And like, how many styles do you stock at the moment?
So at the moment we're doing extra small to large. But with our next stock order, we're going up to a 2XL. So
is that like to a 12 at the moment?
That is a 12, So we're going up to a 16. So
cool.
Yeah. So I feel like, in a couple months we'll have those other larger sizes, which will be really good for our busty girls as well, that we can, we'll get you a pair.
My boobs will fit them.
And at the moment we've got 5 different bikinis.
And then
in a few different colours.
A few more dropping soon as well.
Yeah, we have a new style dropping. We've got it already.
Can you hint? Oh, no, you can't drop any hints.
We can hint.
We can hint.
Ooh.
It's got a bit of underwire in the top.
Oh,
so,
oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like supportive.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. Not to toot our own horn, but we're very proud of this one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we
That's
can't.
exciting.
Yeah,
Can't
so
wait.
yeah, excited for that one.
Yeah, it'll be amazing.
And how's the response been?
Good.
It's been really good. Like we have had so many like friends and family support us. Like obviously going into business, like I don't know if you might have experienced it. Like there's certain people who you thought would support you who haven't, and it kind of surprise. Yeah,
It's like, oh wow.
it's a bit surprising and it's really eye opening. Like
You learn who your true friends are
Yeah.
when you start
Yeah.
a business.
Yeah.
If you're questioning who your friends are and who supports you, start a business.
Start a business.
100%.
Great, that
Yeah.
ABN.
yeah.
Absolutely. But we're very grateful
But
for the support.
but like, and then we have complete support from total strangers, like
Yeah.
people we don't know have ordered from us, and like it's whenever we see like an order
Oh my
come
God,
through
it's the
and
best
it's like
feeling.
a name we don't know, it's like, oh my God, like something's working, you know, the marketing's working or whatever. So it's the nicest feeling, and like we're so excited for like how we can grow from here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Amazing. We're going to
Very
take a
happy.
quick break and we'll come back to you. Hey guys, if you've loved listening to the Seriously podcast, we'd really appreciate a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify podcasts. It keeps us making incredible content for all of you to hear. Thanks so much. And we're back. So guys, I want to ask some pros and cons to business. What's been your biggest learning curve so far?
Oh gosh. I feel like communication
Yeah,
is
like
a huge one, especially if you're working with someone.
I was gonna say, like having
Yeah.
a business is one thing, but having a business with your best friend, it's like a whole nother level.
Be
of
prepared to fight and be prepared to
Oh, yeah.
disagree.
We haven't even had one
It's
fight.
not, it's not a fight. We just obviously it's testing, and it's
Yeah.
obviously Lauren and I, as I said, because we are so close and we do have so much in common in terms of what we want and what we don't want. When we argue or when things are just like we're disagreeing, I know that it's not going to be like we're going to throw in the towel and it's going to be the end of the friendship, but like we've got things that are going on in our lives externally. And I think that if you can take away the fact that the person on the other side is obviously still a human being as well, they've got their own lives going on, it's very testing. And if you can just have that communication and respect for each other, then it's going to be okay. But you just have to acknowledge that no day is going to be the same. And we're women. You know, we're like,
We're moody.
say less.
Go up and down.
Like there's some days where she'll message me and I'm like, I'm like, sorry, but I'm on my freaking period. Leave me alone. Like, go away.
Okay, today is a me day.
Yeah.
I'll sort everything.
Oh my God, I get that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's hard. But at the end of the day, the pros outweigh the cons. And I think if you just accept the fact that in business, no day is going to be perfect. You could have a day where you make 5, 6, 7, 8 sales. The next day you make 0. So that's just business. That's just the way that it is. And I think having each other to vent to is probably one of the biggest pros that I could think of, because what's going to annoy me is most likely going to annoy her too. And it's just, it makes you feel very seen.
Yeah.
And we just have that relationship where we're very open with each other. And I've said to her, if I'm annoying you, if I'm pissing you off, please just tell me. Like, I'd rather you just say, hey, can you do this or can you do that? I would hate for us to get to a point where it's like, it's just awkward, but we just don't have that relationship. Like, I'm very open and honest with Lauren, and she's the same with me.
And I think we're both fortunate in the fact that this is obviously not our main source of income, or we've both got other things, so we can kind of, it's not that pressure of like, we need to get this right and we need to get it done now. It's like, let's do it right no matter how long it takes, and we'll get there eventually. Like, we don't want to rush things.
No.
We don't want to put stuff out into the market that we're not happy with.
Yeah. Because we've had so many designs that have gone wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We've wasted thousands of dollars.
Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah. Well,
And we were so excited.
so this is part of the unreleased designs. We're still perfecting one of them. Can I say what it is? Should I say what?
Yeah, just say it.
It's a one piece.
Oh,
you know.
yes.
So,
Love.
and we absolutely loved it. Like when
Lauren put it on at the manufacturing, and I think my jaw fell to the floor.
like,
It was
so
amazing.
They made us the sample, so we just had one. We went and tried it on, and it was beautiful. But then when we ordered the stock and it got delivered, it was wrong. It was not how we designed it. It was not how they made the sample for us. So we'd ordered like 30 pieces, 40 pieces. Or, I can't remember. It was
a lot.
Yeah. And so when we unwrapped it and we tried it on, we were like so excited. And then we're like,
And it was our last one that we tried on. We were in Bali. We picked up all of our samples. We were so excited to bring them home.
Yeah.
And it was the one piece that we were just like, oh, we can't wait to put this
Yeah.
back. And it was just
so we wanted to
not
release
it.
our initial collection with like 5 bikinis and a one piece. So then when we realized that we weren't going to be able to do that, we were pretty upset.
We were devastated.
Like, we were very, very sad for a few days.
Yeah, we literally just took our mood from like up here and we just plummeted and we just were like on the bed like it was so
Defeated.
sad.
Yeah.
It was so sad. But
Yeah.
this is where, coming back to the fact that there is no pressure when it comes to our line, and we do want what's best for our customers. We weren't going to just drop them looking like that.
Yeah.
There's just no way. And if it means that we need to take a little bit of time, extra, if we mean, that's another massive learning curve is Lauren and I actually ordered all of our stuff, but we didn't actually order any samples. So we just went off of the back end we just went with our gut and we're like, we just need to launch this. We just need to do it. We took the time to design everything when we were in Bali, and we obviously made sure that everything was perfect while we're there, but we can't control the manufacturing side of things. It's in a completely different country. So at the end of the day, it's if things come back and they're not perfect, like we need to take some sort of accountability that we didn't actually order that. And now every single time we are making sure that even if it takes a little bit longer to launch things, we are ordering those samples and making sure that they're perfect.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, that's good. So at least your customers know they're in really good hands. You guys really, really care, which is refreshing because a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Like
I think
I found in fashion.
I think because like we have, I can speak for myself here. I have like hundreds of bikinis in my wardrobe, like many. And I feel like there's probably like 10% of them that I actually love and I think are perfect and fit me really nice, probably less than 10%. So I didn't want to be like that bikini that people just throw to the bottom of their closet and never wear,
True.
So yeah, we want to be like the top tier, like we want people to reach for that bikini when they go out and because it makes them feel good and they know it's going to support them and fit them in all the right places. So
when you love something and you put it on and you just never want to take it off.
Yeah.
That's basically where we're going with this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
we
love
just
it.
want people to feel confident and amazing, and if you've got a body, you can wear a bikini at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love your values, by the way. Would you guys ever go into retail or like think of stocking in shops? Have you thought about that?
We look, it's definitely something that could be on the pipeline in
Yeah,
the future.
yeah.
Like we never say never. And I would love to probably be in Bali or it would be an amazing market over there. It's just one of those things where
I don't know if we would go into like another swimwear store or like another apparel store. I think we could have potentially our own boutique store.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And I think this comes back to the fact that we've got other things that we're bringing into the bikini. So we don't just want to be bikinis. We want to be
We want to do resort
wear.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we've already got a few things in motion.
Yes. So we've got to go back to Bali and we've got to obviously pick out, like, obviously we want to have the top end quality materials. So it takes time.
So pick out all the fabrics and everything. And yeah.
And you guys obviously mentioned Bali a lot because your manufacturer is there, but also you shot your Salil collection campaign there.
We did.
Yeah. So when it comes to Bali, why did you choose Bali over like Perth beaches? Because you're both from Perth.
Yeah.
It's a Perth brand. Like, would you ever shoot in Perth as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it just came down to, so originally like Bali was our manufacturer because we thought if we ever need to go and speak to our manufacturing person, like we don't want it to be in China where like it's not easily accessible. So
Yeah, it's 8-hour flight.
yeah. So we were like, and Bali's really close to home for both of us. Like we both love being there, and like it's a 3-hour flight or whatever it is. So like it just kind of made sense. And then when we thought about doing our first campaign, I don't know, it just made sense because like we've been there. I like grew up there. Our manufacturer's
The villas
there.
are beautiful.
Yeah,
So
the scenery, like everything you can get there is beautiful.
It's amazing. Your campaign was amazing.
thank you.
Like, oh my God.
We do want to take it even further for our next one. That's definitely something that's on the cards. And I think that, bringing in resort wear is very luxe, and that's our brand. And obviously, there's a lot of villas in Bali that look like Europe. So that's very much our, I guess, aesthetic.
Yeah.
Is that real
There's a lot of variety over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the villas were just gorgeous. It just made sense to just have it in Bali,
And it kind of makes you feel like when you see the photos it makes you feel like you're on holiday or you're on vacation. Whereas like
it does.
I don't know.
In Perth it's just like everyday thing that you do is go to the beach.
We love Perth, but I think we were kind of just a bit like,
we want to take it a little bit next level. Yeah.
And then it has like the international vibe because a lot of international people go to Bali. So then it's like pitched as a global brand.
Yeah.
Which is what you want. And I think you did that so beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
I love the photos. Talking about like the photos, the models, what was the scouting process like? Because they were also gorgeous.
oh god.
Oh my God.
First, we actually had 2 different models picked out that we found. Like we always kind of wanted like one blonde, one brunette, like I don't know, just because we were only having 2, so I thought it'd be nice to have a contrast. Both our models got involved in scooter accidents in Bali in separate incidences.
Like what, a week or 2 before?
A week before
We flew to Bali?
Yeah. So
what are the odds of that?
Oh,
we were just like, of course this happened. We're being tested on purpose. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So I went into full meltdown, and Bronte was like, "It's fine. Like, we'll find someone else.
It's all good." I'm a big manifestor universe girl. I'm like, it's gonna be okay. Deep down, I'm like, shit. But I'm like, one of us has to be the cool cucumber. Yeah. It's fine.
So we basically were just like on Instagram, like every day, like trying to find models that lived in Bali who like fit our aesthetic and. Yeah, we just came across, so their name's actually Maya and Anastasia, and they're some of our bikini names because we thought they modelled them so lovely.
They were
we wanted
gorgeous.
to like name a pair after them.
They killed it. They absolutely killed it. And this is another thing where it's like everything kind of happens for a reason.
Because they were amazing.
They were, oh my God, just gorgeous. Everything they put on, I was just like, oh my God. So we were very happy at the end of the day.
When you see your designs on someone else, it's totally different because like we would try them on and be like, yeah, like, they're cool, whatever. And then it's on someone else and we're like, wow.
This is actually happening.
I don't know. Yeah. It's so different.
And you could see that they felt so good about themselves in it too. When someone loves it and they're taking photos of themselves in a mirror.
Yeah, they were taking selfies.
And we were just obsessed.
We're like, yeah.
It was
they love them.
Amazing. Such a good feeling.
I just loved it. You guys did amazing. So when are you going back to Bali or like what's the next steps with LOLÉ?
Well, we want to go back soon because obviously we want to really start to get the ball rolling with the resort wear.
It takes like months to...
It's a long time.
Yeah, obviously do the sampling process and then we have to place our order like 2 months in advance before it actually gets delivered to our door. So it's like we need to start now,
You launch one collection and then basically you start a next. Like even when we were in Bali last time, we hadn't even launched yet and we were already giving them new designs for samples.
Yeah.
So it's like we're constantly thinking about everybody else and what they would want.
Yeah.
And we haven't even Lauren and I haven't even celebrated the fact that we've launched yet. Like there's just
really?
there's just been so much that's been going
on. We haven't even got the bikinis. We haven't got a pair for ourselves.
Are you kidding me?
We've got like...
It's like the number 1 rule.
I know. We were so like busy and focusing on everything else. We forgot to order like a pair for ourselves. So like... We're just like sharing like one between us.
You wear the top, I'll wear the bottom.
Yeah, I've got this shoot. Can you bring this over? And I'm like, oh yes, okay. And
we're just sharing them at the moment, so
it's really funny. You have to buy your own light pair.
Yeah, I know.
On your own site.
Yeah,
100%.
Place an order.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to. We didn't want to run out of stock for people, so we were
worried.
Like, we'll just get our own later.
It's fine.
Oh well, congratulations, ladies. Where can people find you on socials?
At LOLÉ Swim. It's LOLE Swim.
Yes. And then obviously our
everywhere
website.
else.
Everywhere else. We're actually just started TikTok as well, so we're going to really... I love TikTok.
Yeah,
TikTok
it's so good.
An amazing forum because this is taking it back again, even back to social media, is the power of it is insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had a few viral videos of my own on TikTok and
I've seen them.
And it goes nuts. Like I think one of them got like 5 million views and I got like 50,000 followers overnight. And I was
it's always the randomest things. Like you can't pick TikTok.
No.
Like,
yeah, it's a lot easier to grow on TikTok.
It is.
Your brand,
It is.
okay.
Instagram, I find...
Instagram's really hard.
Oh my God. Like it's
Maybe just for me. But
I don't know. I'm the opposite. I love Instagram, and TikTok just infuriates me because I'm like, what do you want? Like,
so this will be my forte. Will
Yeah.
be TikTok.
the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. So I like to bring a bit of humor into things. Like I obviously
Yeah, I love your TikToks. They're so funny.
I love a good laugh. I don't like to take things too overly seriously. When you run a business, you can get stuck in that mind frame of everything needs to be perfect. And I'm like, if we show who we are, people buy you. You know, so people used to come back to me when I ran Malibu, and they would quite literally say to my face, I come back because I love you. Like, I just love to chat with you. So I think if you can grow that relationship with your audience, they will buy it because they love you. I don't want anyone to feel just like a customer. I want them to feel like they're coming along on the journey with us. I love that. I love watching other businesses, and I'm like, I feel like I'm involved. Like I get to have a say of what's in the next line. And you know, if you can put yourself back into the customer's shoes, then you'll be absolutely fine. Yeah.
So just to reconfirm, what we should expect next from LOLÉ Swim, a one-piece potentially.
Yes.
What about colour?
Oh,
Because at the moment it's very neutral.
Neutral.
Yes.
Yeah. We always wanted to start with neutrals because I felt
Which
like
I love.
everyone loves neutrals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you can mix and match.
Yeah.
And they never go out of style. I think that's
Yeah,
the
they're
number
not
one thing.
just trends. Yeah.
We want bikinis that people are going to keep forever.
Yeah.
We don't want those sort of patterns that just are like a trend.
yeah.
You know?
Fad.
Because you wear it once and then you don't wear it
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
But in saying that, I
Absolutely.
think next collection will be either colour or pattern.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm excited
Yes.
to see.
And it's the part that Lauren and I love the most.
Oh, it's so
it's
exciting.
just so
Yeah.
much fun. Like I feel like when it comes to business, you've just got to find what makes you feel like it's not work.
Yeah.
Because I can't believe that this is actually, we get to fly out and we get to go to the manufacturer and we get to actually sit there and pick and choose. Like we sit there and we're like, okay, that needs to come in 3 centimeters. And this is like, it's,
So particular, yeah.
but we love it. Like
So
it's
cool.
just the best.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've always wanted to work for myself, and I have for 6 years now. And I absolutely thrive off of it. It's like organized chaos. So if
That's
you,
actually a great way to describe it.
so if you want business, just be prepared that you're never going to feel prepared. You're never going to feel organized, but that's the beauty of
And
it.
you're never going to feel on top of everything. Your
Never.
to-do list will always be this long.
And you finally start to tick it off, and then something else pops up, and we're
Yeah.
like, oh my God. But, you know, as Lauren has also stated, we've got other businesses, we've got other things and other priorities, and it does make it hard, but you've just got to be kind to yourself at the end of the day. And just always remember why you're doing it. Always come back to that why, because if you don't have a why, then why are you doing it?
I love that. Ladies, where can people find you individually on Insta?
Underscore Bronte Schofield. I think a lot of people, if you don't live under a rock, you would already know. And yes, my Instagram is back. It has been for a while.
At Lauren Alex, 3 underscores at the end.
Amazing.
Specifically.
Yes.
Ladies, thank you so much for coming on Seriously.
Thanks for having
You're
us.
welcome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you next week for another guest. Bye.